I'm Tony Sklar with bnetTV. We are here at the Broadband World Forum in Amsterdam for 2012, and I'm speaking with AVM's Mr. Gerd Thiedemann. How are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks.
Very good. For all of the people out there in bnetTV land, can you give us a brief overview of AVM and where you fit in the broadband ecosystem?
Well, AVM builds residential gateway that you can access broadband, DSL or DOCSIS or LTE or fiber, and then transport all the signals over Wi-Fi, Ethernet, DECT, or whatever technology. You can telephone, you can surf the internet, and you can watch IPTV with AVM products.
What makes AVM's products better than your competitors currently?
Well, we are a European-based company sitting in Berlin, and we are very focused on the European scene and the problems and the challenges to be met here. And we are very focused to end-user requirements as well as service operators' requirements.
So, what are some of the challenges that you and AVM have seen within this ecosystem that you've been able to really address and help get over those challenges?
Well, definitely the tremendous growth in data requires faster pipes, and we were quite happy that we have achieved not only to serve people with ADSL, which is today relatively slow, but to leverage the speed by terms of VDSL2 and deploy VDSL2 enabled products widely in the European market, but we also spread our market out to DOCSIS, cable modem technology, which is even improves the beyond 100 megabit level. And very newly we bring in LTE, which is a wireless technology, but for stationary fixed purposes to access the internet at home.
One of the great things about the European Commission is that they have a wonderful mandate to connect all Europeans in a broadband sense of up to 30 megabits per second here by the end of next year. Now that's an aggressive number, and there's I've spoken to a number of different people at the show that might think that there probably won't get up to the 30 megabits per second for all folk, but definitely the challenge is to make sure that everybody is connected, especially in the rural areas. Enhancing copper truly helps that situation, and how does AVM play a role in that?
ADSL plays a role, and the improvements, including VDSL2 or vectoring methods, will definitely improve the situation also for more rural situations. But today our experience is that LTE technology fits best, especially for rural situations. Due to the so-called digital dividend, a lot of frequency spectrum was freed from the TV spectrum for broadband purposes, and we have seen now that alone in Germany we have 16 million households covered with 50 megabit speeds over LTE. What is really a tremendous growth of what has been achieved prior to that, especially when you go into these so-called white spots where no broadband has been available for long years. And broadband is needed, business is needed. If you don't have an IP interconnect to your customers, you're lost. You have to leave the small village, you have to move to the metropolitan metropoles, and that is of course a great difficulty.
And expenses as well. Let's talk about what you've spoken on yesterday on your panel and what you're going to speak about today as well.
Well, yesterday we have had a very interesting panel discussion together with Verizon from the US. Access for All, this is an internet service provider daughter of KPN, here a Dutch operator, with Atlantic, a chip provider, and ourselves, AVM, in terms of how far is a remote management of these residential gateways helpful for end user, and what maybe concerns in terms of privacy have to be have to be addressed. And it was a very open and frank discussion about all the issues that arise. And it turned out that there is a consensus that privacy of end users shall, of course, be maintained high. This is also, you mentioned the European regulation. They want these devices, these access devices, to, of course, sustain the privacy issue, to satisfy those requirements. And we found that especially for provisioning purposes and for proactive management, the existing methods are well established, and better off, they are not only established for the ADSL and VDSL technology, the same technologies are available for DOCSIS, coax, as well as for LTE.
So, you know, it's wonderful that it seems that AVM is in all aspects of the marketplace, whether it's wired line or wireless, because each one of those arenas has a power to play within the broadband infrastructure across the entire continent.
Yeah, right. Actually, definitely end users will decide between different topologies, and they can choose of whether they use a telephone line for access, a TV line for access, or nowadays a wireless line.
And so, finally, Gerd, where are we going to see AVM here within the next year when it comes to your product pipeline?
Well, we see a tremendous growth in equipment at home. Statistics from the US say on average you have 6 connected devices at home. That means there are several customers that have more than 6 devices, and only few that have maybe less than 6 devices. But the number of devices will increase. It is not the PC, the laptop, it is not only the tablet, the smartphones, the smart TVs are coming, and we will get even more IP devices at home when it comes to electricity, to home appliances. They all will interconnect now over IP at home. So there is a huge demand in more bandwidth at home, and the infrastructure at home becomes more important. How can I deliver all the data flows at home at the quality level and the service level I expect from my service operator. For the service operator, of course, they also need to enlarge their pipes, because more devices will need more content, will need more data, and will need broader pipes.
I'm on the exact same page as you. We wrote an op-ed piece today about, it's all about the connected home. It all starts at home. If you have a good solid foundation at home for broadband and all your devices are connected, your life will be easier.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, I see it with my sons. They love having a network without knowing they have a network. They just used to play around with the tablets and play the games and play the online games, and they just use it as if it was never else.
You know, before we end off here, I'm sure that your children's children will one day say, do you know, my grandpa used to dial up to the internet.
Yeah, and we will really need a lot of time to explain what that was.
Gerd, thanks very much for taking the opportunity to speak with us here today. I hope I get a chance for an update again in the future.
Thanks a lot. It was a great pleasure. Bye.
I've been speaking with Gerd Thiedemann of AVM here at Broadband World Forum in Amsterdam for 2012, and I'm Tony Sklar with bnetTV.